Hello and welcome back to Gospel First. And today we're going to be focusing on the revelation of Jesus Christ and how seeing him clearly changes the way that we view everything happening around us. Now, have you ever looked at the world and thought, what is happening? There is so much noise, so much division, so much uncertainty. And if we're honest, there are moments when it feels like everything is moving faster than we can keep up. Maybe you've looked at the future and wondered what comes next. Maybe you've worried about your family, your health, or the direction of the world. And in those moments, it's easy to focus on the chaos. But what if revelation wasn't given to make us afraid? What if it was given to help us see clearly? So let's find out, shall we? The very first verse tells us what this book is really about in Revelations 1:1. The revelation from Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show his servants what must soon take place. Now, notice what John does not say. He doesn't call it revelation about disasters. He doesn't call it a revelation about fear. He calls it the revelation of Jesus Christ. The word revelation means unveiling. It means something hidden is being made visible. And the person being revealed is Jesus Christ. That changes everything for me. Because the purpose of revelation is not to confuse us, it's to help us see Christ more clearly. Then in Revelations 1 verse 3, John gives us a remarkable promise. Blessed is the one who reads aloud the words of this prophecy, and blessed are those who hear it and take to heart what is written in it. Now notice the pattern. Read it, hear it, live it. The blessing doesn't come simply from knowing it. The blessing comes from applying it. Now, I remember a season in my life when uncertainty seemed to be everywhere. There were decisions to make, questions I couldn't answer, situations I couldn't control. And the harder I tried to figure everything out, the more anxious I became. I wanted clarity. I wanted certainty. I wanted to know how everything would turn out. Then one day I realized something really simple. I was spending more time trying to understand the future than I was trusting the Savior. And those are two different things. The Lord wasn't asking me to know everything. He was asking me to trust him. The realization brought me a peace I hadn't felt in a long time. John then sees the glorified Savior, and what he describes is breathtaking. Christ stands among the churches. He knows his people. He watches over them. He is present. And then Jesus declares, I am the Alpha and the Omega, who is and who was and who is to come, the Almighty. That's in Revelation chapter 1, verse 8. So think about those words. Alpha is the first letter of the Greek alphabet. Omega is the last. What Jesus is saying is, I was there at the beginning, I will be there at the end, and I am with you right now. Now that's a comforting truth. The Savior is not reacting to events as they happen. He already sees the whole picture. He sees the beginning, he sees the ending, and he sees exactly where you are today. Now, there was moments in my life, and I'm sure in yours as well, when I had to let go of the illusion of control. I was carrying worries that I couldn't solve, trying to manage outcomes that weren't mine to manage. And I remember feeling prompted with a simple thought. If Jesus is the Alpha and the Omega, then I don't need to panic in the middle. Now that thought changed the way I approached my challenges, not because my circumstances suddenly improved, but because my perspective changed. Now, one of the most powerful moments in Revelation chapter 1 comes when John falls at Christ's feet. And Jesus said in Revelation chapter 1, verse 17, do not be afraid. I am the first and the last. So think about that. The first message from the risen Christ is not fear. It's reassurance. Not panic, not dread, not despair, but peace. The central message of Revelation is not that darkness wins. The central message is that Jesus Christ is the one that wins. And because he wins, those who follow him can move forward with hope. Now imagine watching a movie where everything appears to be falling apart. The heroes are struggling. The situation looks hopeless. And then someone beside you whispers, "I've already seen the ending. It turns out okay." You would still experience the tension, but you wouldn't experience the same fear. That's what Revelation does. It reminds us that God already knows how the story ends, and his victory is certain. So here's the question I'd like for you to think about today. Where in your life are you holding on to your fear instead of trusting Christ? Is there a situation that you're trying to control? A burden that you're carrying? A future that you're worried about? What would happen if you trusted the one who already sees the ending? So this week, whenever fear begins to rise, remember the words of Jesus Christ. Do not be afraid. So in closing, picture John on the island of Patmos. He's alone. He's exiled. He's separated from friends and fellow believers. From a human perspective, it looked like everything had gone wrong. And then Jesus appeared, not with condemnation, not with criticism, but with comfort. Do not be afraid. The same Savior who stood beside John stands beside you. And the same Christ who knew the ending then knows the ending now. And whatever challenge that you're facing today, his invitation remains the same. Trust me. Because when you trust the one who holds the beginning and the end, you can live with peace in the middle. Well, that's it for another day. Thank you for staying faithful to the journey. May the Spirit continue to fill your heart and draw you closer to Jesus Christ. If your heart feels even a gentle nudge, I invite you to like, subscribe, and share so that we can spread the gospel of Jesus Christ together. And I'll see you next time as we continue our studies in the book of Revelation. Until then, God bless.